All right, everybody. Welcome to the Art with Errol Podcast. It is Monday, and we are back at it. Let's go. All right. Everything looks good. Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about, carving your own path to success, But before, I always like to give my little introduction. I'm Errol. I'm your host. I'm an artist, a graphics designer, a gamer, family man, a veteran. I'm a retiree. So, yeah. And we usually talk about a little bit of what we did last week. Last week we had a nice little podcast. We did get 2 game streams in and an art video, which was actually done Friday, but I didn't post it till Saturday. So overall, a typical kind of week, even though we had Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we're gonna continue our journey, man. I mean, that's the thing. I'm still pushing forward, regardless of how slow my success is in this, content creation realm. Let's see here. We're live, and let me go to my, okay, that works. Okay, here we go. All right, I got that fixed up. All right, yeah. So just talking about where we're at, it's almost the end of the year, and, I've seen progress, and that's why I feel like, this is a good topic for today. Seems like somebody's doing some yard work right now. I think, when you're trying to achieve something, it's really important to have a good direction of where you want to go, right? You want to have a path to follow, or not necessarily copy, or but your own direction, and I see my direction. I see the way I want to go. Things don't always work out, and it could be like, age gap, or being relatable, or just being able to, speak clearly, or speak a certain way, or, being more funny, or, some of those aspects I may not have, but I think there's still, a path to success. It's just, it's always hard to find your right path, I think. You can have your own direction, but then your path is going to be, it's never going to be a straight line, So, having a clear direction is important. And I think for what I want to achieve, I think we're making progress. We're making progress, even though it's slow. It's undeniably slow. Undeniably slow. Just going to look at my gaming channel, which I think I've had the most success with my gaming channel, even though, like I said, everything moves a little slower with my stuff. Just looking at our YouTube, I mean, engagement overall has been higher, which, I'm really happy about that. I just, somebody responded to me 2 hours ago. I missed it. The fact that I'm getting more engagement, the fact that the views have gone up, the fact that the subscribers have gone up. We've gotten 12 in this last month. It's slow progress, but I mean, I take it like we got a little bit of progress. A win is a win. Each person you reach that you get to join the community is great, even if they don't participate actively every day. And that's the thing that I don't understand, but some folks get the active participation every day from folks, and I don't know how they achieve that. That's still something I'm trying to work out. The retention aspect of creating content and then having people keep coming back. I'm kind of more of a fly-by creator, I guess. People kind of drive by and say something now, and then they keep going. So I think I just got to keep building on what we're doing. And honestly, I think a lot of our direction has been to be consistent, and that falls with, the level of success I'm starting to see. I think now it's just about like improving upon the content. We've developed great habits. Excuse me. We developed great habits of being consistent on the journey of creating content. Every Monday I'm doing the podcast. If I could squeeze something else in, I try to squeeze something else in. Like I would like to squeeze something else in today. I don't know if I can. My time has always been limited to that 2 to 3 hour window, and now it's even shorter on Tuesdays. And that's just because my kids have an after school activity that's a little earlier. But, we adjust, we make things happen the best way we can. So I have a clear direction. Progress has been slow. We're at 196 subscribers on our YouTube gaming channel. Where are we at on our, let's look at, on our podcasting channel has been stagnant. I have not seen any growth, and I almost wanted to shut it down. I was thinking maybe I just post videos to it because I've been live streaming to it, and I think that is not helping that channel. The views are always very low. You look at the 9 views in the last 28 days, So we're doing our podcast on Twitch. I think we just keep going with this. We'll take the footage from Twitch and then just put it on YouTube. I think that's the way we're going to go with that. Chop it up, put it on YouTube. And the audio can go on Spotify and all that, and all the other podcasts. So that's how we're going to play this from now on. 7 total subscribers. So, it's not a lot, So the channel's not really growing. And, I'm only doing the podcast once a week. And maybe that's just, because I think anything that you're doing, you need more content, right? You have to have more content. But we're just doing our podcast once a week. It's our Monday check-in. So the art channel has been up and down. 5 subscribers in the last 28 days, but the views are there. It's good, If I look at the view summary, it's saying 5.4K. That's pretty good, and I'm only doing 1 art video a week. So this is actually doing better than the podcasting channel, which is great. The art channel is picking up, and I think we're going to be able to pick this up even more once I get the camera for Christmas, because we're going to get that Black Magic camera, live streaming, 4K camera, and we're going to be able to have like really high quality artwork doing, it's going to be the video footage for that is going to be much better, and that's what I think I need to like make that channel kind of shine more, is to be able to like really capture what I'm doing, with higher resolution. I think that's a big key, and it's going to be a big win for the art channel. So I got direction for that. Our progress is very slow, but we're making progress. If you see in the plus, I think that's progress. It's when you're not having, like with our podcasting channel, it's stagnant. It's nothing there, and that could be, that streaming to it is not good. Maybe I just need to do more of the videos, which we're going to attempt. So we're switching it up for that channel. We're going to change the direction of it. It will just receive the RSS feed from Spotify, and it will also get a video upload. And I think that's going to be the way forward for that channel. And if I can use Opus Clip, because I only get with Opus Clip, the free version, you only get X amount of token or whatever per month, right? The free coins or whatever it is, to make like, some clips. So we'll make clips when we can and just, take the free version and put that up. That will help, I think. But you can only do that once a month. So, I just got to have a good podcast where I could get some good clips and let it clip it for me, because I don't have enough time to do that. So that will work that out. So yeah, staying focused while we have this slow progress is challenging. I'm still focused on what I want to do with everything. I'm still focused with being consistent. But it can't be worrisome where you're not growing, you're not succeeding in areas that you want to. So it's just something you have to kind of power through, that I have to power through, right? Because we are getting progress. We did Nick from Zootopia 2, and it got 1.3k views, 22 likes. I mean, this is great. For me, that's great. For you, if you're like a large channel and you're listening to, you that's wonderful. You probably get a lot more attention and all that. That's great. But for me, this shows progress. That's wonderful. And I'm just looking at the short, because the short usually does better for me. The actual regular video, 9x16. That one just doesn't get as much love for whatever reason. The shorts do, get a lot more love. And that could be because YouTube is pushing the shorts, and that's why it's important, I think, if you are a creator, you should be doing videos and shorts, for whatever channel you have, whatever content you're creating, you should be doing both. You should take your video and make it into a short. It's important for growth, So the power of building your own audience, that's, one thing that I think is critical is, you can't wait for one. You have to try to build it. You have to try to do more engagement. And that's something I got to work harder on, is, getting people to get more engaged. I've been trying to add questions at the end of each bit of gaming news I do. I've been trying to, when I do my tweets, which I think I didn't even do my tweet today for the content. So I kind of fell short a little today, but when you're tweeting stuff out, having questions, and having your videos with it and all that, all that's very important, man. I think also on YouTube and also on if you can, I know you can do a lot with Twitch. I'm not really up to speed on all the how to add polls and questions and all that stuff in there, but I'm sure that stuff will increase engagement if you use the tools. And that's really important, because you want to build an audience that's going to come back, and that's the where I've been struggling the most, is building an audience that wants to come back and engage and chat and do the stuff, which hopefully that will come with time, as we continue our journey. We just got to stay focused, keep working on the content, and I want to make the quality better, which I've been trying to work on as much as possible. Make the quality, I think getting this Blackmagic camera is going to really level up our content as far as the video footage we're going to be able to capture, which I'm mostly going to use it for the art channel. I think the Elgato Facecam 2 is great for doing this kind of stuff. I don't think I need higher resolution for this. Do you need to see the divots in my face? I don't know if y'all need to see that. Y'all want to see that? You want to see the specks in my beard or something? I don't know. The speckle or the little dust on my beard. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think that might be a bit much, You know, I don't think anybody really needs that for like live stream gaming or the podcast. I don't think we need that higher resolution. But if I'm wrong, let me know if you think I should use it for that too. I would definitely have to rearrange the desk and figure out how to set that up, because it's a very expensive camera. So I really wanted to capture the artwork, so we can have really high resolution for our art channel, which would be great. Especially when I get back to doing painting, and I think that's going to be great. So carrying on with our, carving our success, our path to success, I think, what I mean by that is just chopping, your way to success by just doing a little bit at a time and working it. Lessons of content creation, that that we learn along the way, and improve upon, right? Because we gotta constantly try to improve, try to get better, and that's where it's really at, as we make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes, and try to move forward, and I think staying committed is like a big thing, even though, it's hard to stay focused when you're not seeing the growth, you're not gaining traction or whatever, it's hard to stay committed, and I think that's where a lot of people can fall short. I have fallen short in the past, which is proof of, that, it will definitely lead you down a rabbit hole of failure, and nobody wants to think like that, but, you can spiral yourself down by not, by falling off the wagon, not creating content, not, trying to improve, not trying to get the feedback from folks or listening to feedback from folks. I think that can also hinder growth. We need to be flexible, and I think this applies to anyone, man, that's out there. You got to carve your own path. You got to find your own direction, your own way to go to get there, right? Because, you can try things that other people are doing, but that might not be your style. That might not be the right path to get to where you want to get to. And I think, you have to go through that because you have to learn and find your path and carve it out, once you figure things out, And that's kind of where I'm at, I think, we're gaining minute, small amounts of traction, and I am still working and trying to make things better, I still kind of need scripts, when I want to do the bit of game and news, because that kind of helps me stay on top, because I can go all over the place. I could be like a pendulum or something, swinging all over the place. So I don't know, man. I could be, all over the place. So like, I think I need scripts for now until I can kind of like, get to the point where I could just write bullet points and try a few times like that, and just wing them, I don't know. But as of right now, I still am using some scripts, and I'm trying to do a little bit more free on the end when I can make the video longer. So the short is usually really rigid and structured, which I'm trying to get a little more loose with it. And then the end, when I can make that video really loose, and just be free and talk whatever. I'm trying to do a combination of the two for right now. That's the path for, like, the game and news, is to, keep progressing there. So yeah, we're going to keep working, into the next year. Point being, this year's coming to a close. I know there's a way to look at this year, because we, I've been, like I said, more consistent. Let me see. I'm going to go to analytics on the art channel. We'll take a look. Can I look at just this year? How do I do that? If I just want to see timeline chart, daily. I just want yearly. Okay, let's look at it from December. Let's see, is it gonna give it to me? I don't know if it's loading. You know, I kind of like want to look at it. Can I do a line? I want maybe a bar chart then. Let me go back to the line chart. It's not giving me any kind of line. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing, man. Maybe audience retention. What do I need to look at? Should it be real-time performance, audience retention? Let's try that one. Select for the channel. Apply. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so you can't. I don't know how to pull it up, y'all. Okay. See more of this. Okay, can I change this to yearly? Okay. It just goes to a single line. I don't understand this. YouTube analytics is so ridiculous. 365 days. Okay, here we go. So you change it over there to yearly, and then you got to come over here and change it. I don't understand it. Okay. What does the blue line represent? Let's see. Oh, Evil Homer got like a lot, man. Jeez. I don't think this is what I want to look at. It's definitely metrics. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really good at figuring out these analytics, so we're just gonna leave this alone. I think I'm done with that. Maybe that's something I need to look at later and figure out how to pull up, like, you know, to look at the year. You know, what I want to look at the year, like what happened with the channel. I don't really know how to do that. 2025. Okay, wait a minute. This kind of gives you a snapshot. Okay. So in 2025 for the art channel, 23,189 views. They make it so confusing on how to pull this up. So, I mean, you know, it gives you the subscribers too. So 32 plus 32 subscribers. That's pretty good. You got, and I look at this for me, you know, I think it's good for me, you know, because have a slow level of growth on all this. Let me look at the gaming channel and we'll just kind of, okay, so let me see, how did I do it last time? 2025, boom. Okay, so the gaming channel, 1.1K, which is from, that's not bad, and 125 plus subscribers. So the gaming channel has done the best out of all my channels. The podcasting channel is pretty much dead. And this is just the way, you know, we've been rolling. You know, we've been making more content for the gaming channel than anything. So I think, you know, once I get the camera, we're going to be able to like do a little bit of art every day. And that will give us a video every day during the week. So Monday through Friday. And then with the whatever piece we're doing, hopefully on that Friday. I think that's how I'm going to try to roll with it once we get the camera and we get the understanding of the workings of it and get it working. I think that's going to level up the art channel as well. So I got a plan forward. I do have a plan forward, you know, and I think that's going to help us carve our way out a little bit more and, you know, get in there. I think, you know, I've got to do more in the little bit of time I have. If I only got 2 hours or 3 hours on some days to do content, I got to maximize that time. So we're going to have to figure it out how we squeeze it all in there. But I do have some ideas for next year that I will implement once I, get the camera for Christmas and we figure, how to use it and make it work with OBS and all that stuff. We're going to figure it out. It's going to be great. I think I'm going to have bigger things to come in 2026. I think that's going to be our year. We're going to start to level up a lot of our stuff. Instead of me doing like a 1 hour art piece, we're going to do a 5-day work of art. So, and it'll be just divided up, maybe an hour or 30 minutes each day or something until we complete it on that Friday or something like that. We're going to figure it out. I got the concept in my head. I just got to work it out. Yeah. And as far as like the podcasting channel, I think, like I said, I'm just going to just upload from here on out to that. I won't do any lives to that. We'll just do lives to Twitch. I think that's the way forward. So the Monday podcast would only be viewed live from Twitch. I think that's the way to go, and then, I'll upload this. Because the one thing I like about Twitch is you can download it pretty much right after you finish, which is, to me, pretty awesome. I didn't know you could do that. I thought there was like, when I first started streaming on Twitch way back, I thought it was like a 24-hour thing. But they must have changed that rule along the way when I stopped messing with it. So, bouncing around was a big mistake that I made. I bounced around way too much, and I'm trying my best not to do that now. I think we're going to go with the classic, what a lot of creators started doing in the beginning. They was just doing Twitch and YouTube, where you do the stuff live on Twitch and then go videos on YouTube, except for my gaming channel. That's the only one I'm going to dual stream with. And the art channel, because the art channel, I want that one to have, or maybe I just do the art channel on Twitch and then just upload it, because I think videos work better for that channel. I don't know if live streams work so great. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe we'll do stream on those two, and we just won't do stream on the podcast. I think, I gotta figure that part out. But next year we're gonna do some experiments. We're gonna try some stuff, because video footage is different metrics, I think, than live stream. The live stream footage, is only hot while it's live, and then your videos or the VODs are people can go back and watch that, So I think maybe just doing the videos might, I don't know. Because I'm going to have to piece it together at some point if I'm doing a 4 or 5 day art video anyway, to put the whole thing together. So, because it'll be a bunch of mini sessions, basically. So, and that will make a video. So, if you do it live in segments like that and then put it all together to one video, it could work. It could work, and it'll be worth trying that out, y'all. I think it'll be worth trying that out. So yeah, I mean, progress, slow but steady. We just haven't found our stride yet. I think that's where we're at. We haven't found our stride, and I think we got to continue to try to carve our way into success. That's what it is. So I hope, if anything, you're learning from me, mistakes that I've made in the past. Hopefully it's me spitting out this information out of my head to really, like I always say this, it's really to help me, to help me out to think things through. And, I can make a content out of it, of me just spewing out what's in my brain, partially guided by some bullet points, I think that, helps me, come up with what I need to do next, and hopefully making progress in all these areas, because that's the one thing I want to do, is just make progress. Want to get better, want to make good content, and we want people to participate. So we want to build the community, we want to have participation. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. If you're on Spotify, you're listening to this, listening to me ramble about my journey as a content creator. I appreciate you. I don't even know if there's like a follow like button over there. I don't really. I just know it's on there. So it's all good. We're putting this thing everywhere for everybody to hear me ramble about this crazy journey, y'all. So I hope it was a good listen today, y'all. So, yeah. And I'll see you guys on next Monday. We will, for this week, I think, I got to talk about what's happening next week. Can't forget to do that. This week. So this week, I should be able to get in 2 good game streams. If I can get one in after this, I will. If not, we'll probably be Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and then an art video on Friday. We'll just do a quick sketch in the sketchbook. We're gonna finish out this year with just sketches in the sketchbook till, like I said, next year when we get that new camera, we're gonna be able to put some high quality content out. I think it's gonna look great. And we'll take our time with the art pieces instead of doing like these little 1-hour sketches. I think we'll do, a lot longer. It'll be like 4 or 5 hours, because we'll do maybe an hour of drawing each day up till Friday, and then have a finished piece on Friday. I think that's the way to go. And then we'll piece it together, make it into one large video, and, speed it up into like a speed drawing video. And then, and that will give us a lot more content for our art channel. Yeah. So we got some ways forward. We got a direction. We got direction we want to go. How many of the folks are going to follow? I don't know. I hope people like what I got going on, and they join in. So till next time, y'all, you know what to do. I'm out of here.